Oh, what is happening, everybody? Sorry, I've got like the most itchy goddamn nose. Oh, excuse me. Um, so listen, I want to talk today a little bit, just briefly. It might be a half-hour stream today. Um, like I have never seen anything like this in my life. I mean, yesterday we were at so another 250,000 people have signed this since yesterday, if not more, which is crazy. I mean, it's awesome, but I've never seen anything like it. So, Labour shitting themselves, absolutely papping himself, and Labour are talking about replacing him. Andy Burnham would beat Keir Starmer among Labour members by 2-1 if there was a leadership contest today. All the excuses, but no one cares. Labour, like, who cares? You're replacing one dickhead with another dickhead. And I'm sorry, Andy, I don't even know who you are, but I'm assuming you're a dickhead. So I wanted to have a look today at what it is that is this new political party reform with what's his name? Farage at the top of it, because you know it doesn't look good for the conventional political stockpile in the UK right now. And it's easy to just jump on things and be like, oh yes, this, that, and the next thing. But I really want to just take a minute and have a look at this, because there's never been a better time for someone to swoop in, fill people's hopes and desires with something, and then for us all to get shat on. And I just want to jump in to the key points for this alleged saving grace of a political party, Reform UK. And their key point here is obviously on migration. And I do not understand why all of this right here is not the fundamental basics for anyone in power in Britain. How is this not just this is like day one stuff, right? Non-essential migration frozen to boost wages, protect public services, end the housing crisis, and cut crime. That brilliant idea. That's a great idea. Imagine no more small boats in the Channel. Brilliant. Illegal migrants who come to the UK will be detained and deported, and if needed, migrants in small boats will be picked up and taken back to France. Brilliant. Brilliant. All we need are some migrant pirates, right? You give some UK residents some boats and some cool hats and just send them out with massive plungers. Like, do you remember the old whaling boats, right? So imagine a whaling boat with a plunger, right, that fires out of it and just onto the side of one of those rafts. Just tugboat them back to France, my G. Problem solved. Problem solved. Okay. Imagine good wages for a hard day's work. Yep. Lift the income tax starting threshold to 20k. Hell yeah. To save the lowest paid £1,500 per year. It takes 7 million of the least well. Hang on. It takes 7 million of the least well-off's income tax to make work pay and get people off benefits. Okay. Imagine affordable, stable energy. Scrap energy levies and net zero. Hell yes. Hell yes. Let's get that scrapped immediately. If all the polar bears are going to invade everywhere because the ice caps are melting, right? Like, what are we expected to do about this? Like, it was the same thing with the bloody COVID. Like, my biggest argument for COVID and the natural cycle of the world, okay, is the 200-year cycle of the flu. Every couple of 100 years, the flu comes back fucking raging, okay? Do you know what I mean? And then they just sort of boosted it a little bit. All right, next thing. Uncontrolled migration has pushed Britain to breaking point. I 100% agree. Like, we all understand what the problem is here, right? None of this would be happening if it wasn't for the boats coming over. We know that, right? That is clear as day. So why has it gotten to this point? Because it almost feels like they must have known that the population of Britain was going to lose faith in Labour. So does that mean they would have known that they would have wanted us to then look for a saving grace? And does that then mean that is what they've implicated this political party for, so that they can be voted in, do even more damage, and then one of the big two, Labour or the Conservatives, come back and save us, and then we all learn our lesson never to vote out with the popular two ever again? Is that what's happening? Because I don't know. I just don't know. Nigel is playing a Game of Thrones and has the sort of element running around being a racist with crosses. Brilliant. Well, here's the thing, right? It can't be the Conservatives or Labour. Okay, so who are you going to pick? Who are we picking? Anyone? Exactly. So nobody's going to vote for the Tories. Tommy's not going to run for freaking government, man. Or for Prime Minister. Do you know how I know that? Do you know how I know that? Because the minute that he utters those words, right? Food poisoning, right? Food poisoning. Or, Tommy Robinson was killed by a pigeon that fell out of the sky and impaled him in the eyeball. Do you know what I mean? It'll get serious real quick. We'll wait and see. I'll take that back. I will take it all back, Freebie, if the Channel 4 SAS guy becomes Mayor of London. How badass of a Mayor of London would Ant be? Like, he's definitely going to accidentally kill somebody, and then it's going to have to be covered up in his office, right? 100%. 100%. Like you'll have one difficult decision to make, lose it in a board meeting, go full SAS, and then just wake up from blacking out on the floor, and there'll be a whole bunch of MI6 guys going, and it's fine, everyone gets one. And just so you know who we're talking about here, everybody. Is this guy. Badass does this guy look? Like, all right, mate. What? Like, just he will just intimidate the other like political people that are like opposing him. He will deal with the situation. So yeah, that is Ant Middleton running for mayor, and here he is with a bit of his military background included. I just don't understand. What is happening. Well, I do understand what's happening in this country. I've got to stop saying that. We know exactly what's happening in this country. We're still all in a cloud of denial about its reality, I feel. Because I don't think if all of us fully believed what we're seeing, we'd all still be sitting doing nothing. Right. Yeah. He's freaking badass. He's a freaking badass. And I am down for looking at people in politics or people in positions of power and going, oh yeah, you're actually a badass. I'm fully here for that like era of politics in the UK at least. I'm not saying that's what Nigel Farage is, and yes, it's just this one guy, but it's a start. It's a start. Yeah. Actually, Charlie, there is basically, Charlie, I've got to go and repair 2 PCs, and the only thing that the guy who's going to repair them for me is waiting on is me getting in a taxi with the PCs, and it's just not happened yet. So as soon as I've done that, yes, we will be. Yes, we will be, mate. In fact, I've got all of my old dark web content that I was thinking about putting into like one big, like special length documentary thing for October, just so that the research is at least out there, if you know what I mean. But I'm in Edinburgh, and I'm struggling with what I'm seeing around the world, what I'm seeing in small towns in England and in Scotland, and I'm seeing a change in people around me that are very chilled out, placid folk who, some of them are scared, some of them don't know what to say or how to have a voice or what to do. They feel like no one's listening to them. The government's failed them. Our children and our women, we've had 3 incidents very close to my house concerning women and children that it's not a good sign. And, you know, I'm still working on the Code Red web page. It's one of the reasons why the show is going to be a little bit shorter today. I want to try and get this all finished off because there's a mindset that we need to adopt. Okay, we have to assume that these are not normal times and normal mindsets cannot apply. You know, we have to be vigilant. We have to be spatially aware. We have to start getting back into a mindset of caring about our neighbors. Because when it hits the fan, you're going to want to know the people around you. And it's better that, you know, crazy, paranoid, delusional Ron, okay, we all have a little bit of fun and learn a bit about prepping and maybe talk to our neighbors. What's the worst that could happen if I'm totally wrong? You have some barbecues, right? You buy some freaking noodles that you stick up in your loft. Oh no. Okay, so let's just see it as a fun winter community project, right? Fun little community project that hopefully we can all laugh about one day about how crazy and paranoid we all were, right? That's the best outcome, baby. And I hope to God that is the outcome. I really do. But community, even through this channel, is something that we want to be building. So come and join the Discord mods. If there's any mods that can post a link, I'd appreciate it. And I'm going to be fully going over everything that I'm doing. Hopefully you guys will get involved with it all, because sitting about and hoping that a bunch of twats in a big house down in England are going to make the right choices for us, that is long since dissolved. To the point where, when we were talking months ago about a grand operation being put into play to force through mass change that would somehow result in loss of our freedoms, is what we're seeing on this screen right now. This is what they've tried to do. And they're pushing this. They pushed through the Internet Safeties Act with the mindset of protecting children. Do you remember that? Do you remember the speeches? The Internet Safeties Act is going to revolutionize our safety of our children online. What are you talking about, mate? So why is there not policy in this country? Why are we not living in a world where, when an elected government official whose wages are paid by the taxpayers lie blatantly to our faces and misuse systems that they've put in place under a false pretense? Why is that okay? Why is that okay? Ron's putting his feet up on the desk and getting real philosophical now. Like, why is that all right? Because it doesn't really make sense to me that the wet wipe chapter of humanity, which we are, has sat about for so long and done nothing. And it's all our fault. All of this is our fault. Like, imagine if Great Britain was your family business and some dickhead had hired Keir Starmer to take it over for you. You would have nipped him in the bud so fast. Our government has nothing to fear from its people. And they've got a wake-up call with this petition. They've got a wake-up call with the protest on the 13th. But I think the more that Labour lose grasp on the country, the more Starmer sinks deeper into the pit of Sarlacc, the hatred this country has for him, the more desperate and the more outlandish their plans could become. Because mass importing tens and hundreds of thousands of military-aged young men under the guise of asylum and refugee status doesn't make any sense. They've got to stop with this naivety. If you're from somewhere where atrocities are taking place, you are seeking refuge the first goddamn place you arrive in, with your wife and your children if you have any, or your mum or your dad. Oh God, hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 sec. 7:30 till 9:30. So I need to move my show to Lawrence. One sec. Yo, I'll move. All right, so my next show on the Sean Atwood channel has moved from 8 to 6. So I'm just changing that now. Oh. 6. There we go. Done. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. So for me, I just, we need to be looking into the future of this country, right? And it needs to be now. And we need to be looking ahead who is going to potentially have a chance to fix this country. And it's like we're staring at 3 piles of crap, each slightly larger than the other, you know? And I'm 100% of the mindset that I need a new pile of crap in power. I mean, we really, really, really do. And you know, it's crazy to think that Nigel Farage might be that guy. Are any of them those guys though? Laura May, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Can we really trust anybody? I mean, how long have we been talking about the cabals and the shadow governments and all of this stuff? It's a sad, sad state of affairs. But it's a global thing. Look at America. Look at France. Also, what is going on with that guy's wife? Why did he meet her when he was 15? And why is she like almost 80 or something like that? What is going on there? What is going on? I feel honestly, it's so weird. Then you've got Germany, you've got Italy, you've got France, Australia, and it'll be a goddamn cold day in hell before I watch my city or Scotland turn into what is happening in America with Sharia law patrols. What? It's just a madness, mate. It's madness. So there has been a very passive movements or passive groups of people that I'm not going to elaborate too much on now, but passively for years, certain classes of people, certain groups of people have slowly had the amount of social acceptance of racism towards them increased and become very normalized. Because I'm all over the place with this. I really, really am. And I just hope that whoever it is that takes over in power does the right thing for the people of this country. Does the right thing for the children, the women, the elderly, the vulnerable, those who need support. I hope resources are redistributed to the people of this country, the legal citizens of the country. And I tell you this right goddamn now, if Nigel Farage kicks out and deports all the illegal immigrants and then doesn't open up the hotels for the homeless and the veterans, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay? Because what an incredible move that would be, right? Because it wouldn't take, it'd be way less hotels than what we're using for the migrants. Do you know what I mean? And what an incredible moment for Britain that would be, to reclaim the resources, reclaim our land, our culture. Oh yeah, obviously. Obviously. Listen, we've got to have some hope, Samantha. Okay, you got to give me like a little sliver of hope. Okay, that's why they can't get all the fat out the milk. Okay, because that last 1%'s a bitch. Okay, just let me have the 1%, please. How incredible would that be to watch homelessness and all those poor women, men, and women? Well, Nigel's a whopper, though. I know. Listen, when I talk about listen, freebie. If I put in front of you 3 shit sandwiches, okay, and the first sandwich has 3 turds on it, the second sandwich has 2 turds on it, and the third sandwich has 1 turd on it, which one are you picking? Right? You don't want to eat any of them, but you've got to eat one, freebie. Not Nigel. That's fair dues, mate. That's fair dues. Now, Ron wants radical mad change. Like, Ron's here for it all. Like, it needs to be somebody fresh that has never done this before with a concept of what we want. Plus, anybody could knock out Nigel Farage. Okay, which, let's be honest, he knows that, and we aren't afraid to tell him of that. So, but he is a whopper. So, but he is the lesser of the turd sandwiches. Ben Habib. Swear to God, right? I'm sorry. 1 second. Okay, Advance UK brings new far-right threat into play. So is it Advance UK? This guy's party. Hang on. Advance UK. All right. All right. We'll have a look at this one too. All right. So okay. Right, where's the bit? Structure, college, no. Right, mission. There we go. Right. We'll build a proud, independent, and prosperous United Kingdom. Sweet. We stand for the nation, freedom, and democracy and equality. Sweet. And equality under the law, which they will now have the power to rewrite. Our nation is the United Kingdom. Oh, shut up. All people living in the UK should be equal before and subject only to UK law. Yes. All people should be able to live free from the threat of terror and violent crime without prejudice. Yep. All right. Go with that. There should be no discrimination based on ethnicity. Sure. 100%. British legal system must be the only legal system in the nation and its application of part of. Yep. Brilliant. Security of life and property are security of life and property are fundamental in creating a peaceful and prosperous society. That sounds more like a threat. And that sounds like a low-key, like, threat. Is that it? That can't be the whole manifesto. Oh, maybe in a few years. Maybe when he's actually thought out what it is he wants to fucking do. Structure. Maybe they're just poor navigation setup. Members college. No. Oh. No, that doesn't. Oh, wait, no, they built it into the website. Well, that was a terrible choice. Don't know about this one. Their website isn't filling me with anything good. You know what I mean? Whereas this one has bright colors. Whoa! I'm kidding. No, I'm just busting jobs. Yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, sure, I am agreeing with everything that this guy's saying is his mission. It looks way too green from a. I don't know. I don't know this guy. And he needs more policies. Like that can't just be. You can't just that. This can't be all of the policies. Like, where's the packing everyone's bags and kicking their asses back to where they came from? Where's that? There's not enough focus on getting rid of the illegal migrants on this. This looks like a massive pile of fluff to me. Is what it looks like. Also, why is there a big white gap here? What's that? Who's that for? What's this? What's that about? Is that the gap in between this man's thoughts? Is that what it is? NHS is broken. No, the NHS isn't broken. There's just too many people and it's underfunded because of mass importation. In Jesus. It's crazy. The doctors at the hospitals that they built around here have to pay to park at their job. What? God damn, it just does my head in. So I'm not. I can't even take this seriously as anything. So sadly, yes, I've looked into it. Sadly, I'm back on Farage. Look at this guy. He's got his hands up in a picture. Whoa! Do you know what I mean? What's this guy got? Stock footage of Britain. Angry man with microphone. Man standing doing jazz hands. Do you see what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. Until it comes to voting anything, I'll be very much busting chops and swaying my own mind left and right. But he does look like such a doofus. Do you know what I mean? He really does. It wasn't until I started looking into how hated Starmer was that I found out how hated what was the name of the Boris Johnson was. Boris Johnson is my favorite politician in the history of politics. I mean, it was incredible. He reminded me, I always said I wouldn't be surprised if we found out that he was like Donald Trump's second half cousin that Donald Trump kicked out of a second floor window when they were kids and just sort of left him with a bit of a mad thought process. Because I mean, what a legend. This is the bad that for his political campaign or something tried to go down a flying fox, you know, the rope that you clip yourself onto and you slide down. He got stuck in the middle, mate. Who gets stuck in the middle on national television on a flying fox? He got trapped in the doors of a bus twice whilst being interviewed, and the bus just about drove off with it. I mean, incredible. So the time for putting trust in the norms is over. You know, we're being lied to, we're being spoon-fed nonsense. Everything that we hold near and dear is being stripped away from us. We can't even have shops with Merry Christmas signs up in them. When the hell? I can't even remember the last time I read the word Christmas anywhere. It's been so long. Yeah, Boris was a joke, right? I'm not. Listen, you got to remember, Mackenzie. I'm not judging him on his political savviness. I'm judging on him on the how is this man in the mirror? Like, out of all the people, he gets top marks for how the hell have we ended up with this guy as a mayor? Like, it's just amazing. Like, you look at Boris Johnson and it'll make you feel inside that you can accomplish anything. Anything at all. Because if that man can get to Mayor of London, then by God, any of us can do anything. And so that's what zip line, that was, I keep calling it a flying fox, it's a zip line. Yeah, he got stuck on the zip line. I just show you, it's too good. It's too good. Like, just imagine, right? Just imagine this is the guy that's representing you, right? Just take that and just let that just wash over you. And I mean, the best part is, right, when you Google this, look at all the angles. What a bell end. What a bell end. So yeah. Yeah, it's good times. But in all honesty, as soon as this webpage is up, as a community, we're going to start working on some stuff together if you would like to be involved in it, because it's easy to sit here and say what we need to do and then turn off the computer and go and do nothing. You know what I mean? So call it leading by example. Call it I'm bored and need something to do. Call it content. wherever you want to do it. So yeah, because we've got to do it. Because the shit is getting way too close to the fan now. Like, it really is. It's so close. When the flies try and land on it, they get sucked into the fan. Is that right, Mackenzie? Well, you know why. You know why. No, I do not want to fix his website. I don't want to get involved in any of these little rascal politician people, because they're all tricking us, man. Don't believe any of them, okay? It doesn't matter who we vote in, we're screwed, okay? But if we can be screwed while sending everybody else home that shouldn't be here, I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we're whatever way we look at it, we're screwed. But we need to look at the best result from being screwed. Do you know what I mean? At least get screwed by the person that's willing to like lube up beforehand. Do you know what I'm saying? Because right now our country's just getting raw dogged by fucking big black rubber bad boys getting rammed into us from France. The black dinghies, obviously, I'm talking about. And it's just, it can't be a thing anymore. Yeah. Nigel is reactive. Ben is smart. Yeah. Personally, I'm totally here for the reactive. Like, we need a bit of a character. I don't want another thinker. I want someone that's going to make a decision based off of like Twitter trends, as opposed to, you know, years of competent thought processing. I'm kidding. But I don't want it to just be another political party that looks like the last two political parties with a shitter website. And he's mentioned nothing about deporting anybody. So until he's willing to deport everyone, and that's the number one thing, is kicking everybody out that shouldn't be here, you're not gonna swing me. But hey, listen, we can all still get along and be friends, just as long as you know that, right? Because, you know, I'm just letting you know that. You know, I will let you bust my chops if your guy wins. I will definitely bust your chops if my guy wins, and then we can all see who has the big feeling of regret 6 months later. It'll either be me feeling like an asshole because I've won and my guy screwed it up, or you guys regretting it because your guy won and he screwed it up. So really, if we all fall out, then there's no point. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yes, you do. All right. I need to now go and get ready for my show, which is now at Nigel screwed over UKIP. That was just like a training political party, man. That was just like Sunday league with the boys. You know what I mean? And now he's stepped up to this. Like, what is this image? Like, because all I'm saying is everything in front of him is being superimposed. So he has stood somewhere. And they have purposely got this photograph of, I'm telling you, maybe it's not, maybe this is real, I don't know. But all I'm saying is this is a whopper. So that's a look at me pose. 100%. 100%. But that's maybe why I know who Nigel is and I never heard of Ben until now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just being sucked in by me. I'm like, wait, that guy's got his hands up. I can believe in him. I believe in the man with the hands up. Oh, God. It's too funny. It's too funny. You're totally right. Totally nailed it. It's Game of Thrones. Listen, I can relate to the analogy of Game of Thrones because outside of Edinburgh, everywhere else in Scotland is north of the wall to me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, listen, the Mojo journey we'll talk about, but we'll maybe talk about the Mojo journey on Friday, when we're having our decompression, face melting nonsense evening. John Habibis, Jon Snow, Ben Habibis, Jon Snow. No way. No way. Nah, no way is he Jon Snow. Absolutely not. Like, maybe though. I don't know. I don't really know much about the guy. Maybe he is. But Sean is live right now with Epstein Clothing, Baby Farms, and Eugenics. I will get you lovely people a link for that right now. And you can all head over there and continue the binging that is Project Rook and the Sean Atwood channel and all of our wonderful content. Okay. There you are, you lovely people. And I will see you all at 6 o'clock. Have a great afternoon, and thank you for being here, and I'll see you soon. Peace.